stuff like that. You just hope that one of them is going to come. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I mean, he had a kind of half chance. To be fair, the defender kind of nipped in just before he was about to strike it. But when it looked on first glance, you look at it and you go, "Oh, geez, that was a sitter." But he never actually got anywhere near the ball. The defender got the ball out, but fair dues to the guy. You know, you get in there when it was needed and popped the goal away. So and you could just see it was like a whole relief. The whole world come off his shoulders, and it was just that when you saw the celebration, and I like seeing when you get players that it means that much to them. You just like it, you know, when you run at the fans and you take the adulation, all that sort of stuff, and you could just see the relief in his face. But hopefully he goes on and does a bit better, because I think he's got a bit about him.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. I mean, I'll come to you now, but we were talking about the Ross County game there, and again, I'm just trying to think on the starting lineups. There wasn't a huge difference between Ross County starting lineup and the game against Vauxhall Astra, other than obviously Guidetti was ineligible anyway. But unless I'm missing something, it was a fairly similar starting lineup, other than that one change. You might correct me if I'm wrong, but what went so badly wrong or different? Given that we were at home, given that we weren't at a wee tight back at Dingwall, okay, we're maybe not playing the same quality of team either, but there seemed to be a nerve. Somebody.
What was that?
That must have been a tricky question for Al, because he's just left us. I'll maybe ask you the question then, Jim. In terms of, you know, what I was kind of trying to struggle with the fact that it was near enough the same team, other than Guidetti, but what was so different, especially when we're at home in a game like that. The Green Brigade, I have to say, were on song literally last night. They were superb again last night, and they really made the atmosphere. But you'd think that would be enough to lift the players to a degree, or at least maintain the same level of performance. The opening part of the game that I saw, it wasn't as if they were absolutely harmless. They had a few chances later on in the first half, but we had a lot of possession, but we were just not creating a single shot on goal or effort at all. So what happened between the Ross County and the Vauxhall Astra game?
I was thinking that myself today, and I'm thinking, like, from a psychological point of view, putting another hat on, you know, we've had a horrible start to the season. Pressure's on them all because they're getting criticised left, right and centre.
Yeah.
We all of a sudden, bang, we pull off against Ross County.
Hey guys, sorry about
that. Go back in the arena. It's different kettle of fish. So maybe there's a bit of apprehension about players that we hope this is no one-off as well.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe there's a wee bit of tightness about them. You know, they're just being a bit over analytical or too cautious before they win the game, thinking, well, if we get stuff to tear us all back up and so went tits up again.
Yeah.
So I think from that point of view, a psychological point of view, to start having that real belief in themselves. You know, beating Ross County, both in the league, as we were saying, well, they're both in the league, so maybe they're thinking that as well. Maybe that's a one-half. But I think the result last night, hard-fought victory. You know, in a European, you don't get shit teams in Europe, no matter who they are these days. You know what I mean?
Apart from us,
aye. So I think from that point of view, I'm certainly looking at no last night. That's a better victory than the Ross County one, I think, psychologically.
Well, fair enough. Now, Al, you're back with us. Are you going to switch that Hoover on again? What's that?
No, mate. That was my old man. Sorry about that. He
Your old man's a Hoover?
Listening to his own, so that's typical. But
I hope you gave him a kick in the stones.
Aye, well, just about, aye. But no, you were saying, well, 2 reasons why we started sloppy.
Yeah.
I hate using this word, because I'm going to sound like Ronnie here. The tempo was slow.
It was.
And they wanted too much time in the ball. You don't get that, especially at the start in Europe. It's very frantic.
Yeah.
And Charlie Mulgrew. I do wish people would start realising he's not cut out for Europe. He's too slow.
He's no mobile.
I'm glad you said not cut out for Europe, because there was many put the way that we played against Ross County down to not just Stefan Johansson, but also the fact that Charlie Mulgrew was back.
Well, I would never. I like Mulgrew. I think he's a wholehearted player.
Yeah.
But for Europe, and the first name in my team sheet when we go over there would be Burnham Kyle. Not because I like Kyle, just because he's more mobile.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing Astra had, was mobile midfielders, and we couldn't cope with it.
Well, see that you mentioned that just a second ago, Al. The thing about Dyla constantly, and we've heard this since he arrived at the club, constantly goes on about tempo. It constantly goes on about, quick passing, attacking football. Now, again, we've spoken about it on this podcast several times, and I make no apology for bringing it up again, but that's a perfect example, as you mentioned there, Al, of it not being in evidence last night. He said it himself in his press conference later on that I read, that he didn't think the tempo was there. There were too many. The play was too slow. There was too many touches. I mean, I honestly thought there was too many. In fact, I was thinking about it last night, and it was the game that had everything. And by everything, I mean misplaced passes, overhit passes, underhit passes. It was, it had everything, but all in a bad sense. But it was one of those ones that, again, the tempo just was not there. Now, Liam, this is something that Ronnie Dyla has said since he came to the club. And we have said on here several times that all we hope for is, a little bit of improvement week on week, month on month. We maybe saw fits and starts of it against Ross County, but it was back to the same old story, and a lot of the time against the Astra game. Is there something else that's going on, whether it's in the training or whether it's in the background, or have the players just not got the respect of Ronnie Dyla, or do they actually understand what he's trying to get from them, or is there something else?
Well, the thing is, see this thing about tempo, right? I think it's one of these kind of buzzwords that a lot of managers throw about without really knowing what it means.
Yeah.
Because to me, Celtic's problem isn't the slow tempo. It's just basically a lack of organisation. Players get caught out of position too much. There's too many misplaced passes. There's too much breakdown in communication. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I was watching the highlights of yesterday's game on my iPad this morning at school. Right?
Yeah.
And one of the Japanese.
While you were meant to be teaching, Liam.
When I had a free period, it was all right. Anyway. One of the Japanese teachers I worked with walked past and he looked at me, and he's a football fan, and he said, "You know what that looks like?" I says, "What?" He said, "It looks like two people playing FIFA and they don't know the controls."
Aye.
It's like the ball was just going all over the place and nobody seemed to be in control.
For the Japanese.
Sometimes it looks as if Ronnie Dyla's been playing FIFA.
I think there's something else at play as well. I think if you analyse all the European tournaments, we're talking about how bad Celtic played, and fair dues, right? But you're also against a team who is fighting for its future in this tournament.
Yeah.
So they're up for it as well. So they're trying,
and they've got a new manager.
They're trying that a lot harder last. Well, not saying they're trying harder, but they've got a lot more motivation last night because their future's at risk. So they're putting a bit there. Whatever way you want to put it, there's a lot more effort getting in last night for them as well that might have contributed to Celtic not getting in the game. Because as I say, I thought the first half was crap, but the first 15 minutes, that's all I saw. I could see Celtic getting it. What I said earlier on, they were getting top of the game. So, and we all know ourselves, after the first two games in Europe, when teams have lost, even when we've done it, that third game is crucial because, especially in Europe, it's a 6-pointer. You're playing the two teams home and away. So I think that's when you give a bit of credit to the other team as well.
Well, guys, I mean, just to finish off on the whole Europa League thing, if we win one more game out of the last 3 games we've got to play, we qualify, I believe.
Right?
No, we don't.
Is that? I don't think so.
We need Salzburg to beat Zagreb, and we need to beat Astra to be sure to qualify.
Right, okay.
And
Are we capable of getting out of this group, Alistair?
we should do. Well, put it this way: if we don't, after the start we've had, Ronnie Dillett should be removed. That's after the start we've made. Because on top of the league form, on top of the Champions League debacle, if we don't get out this group having 7 out of the first 9 points, then his position, and I'm not one of these knee-jerk people, but his position then becomes untenable.
I think we've arguably played our hardest game, which would, on paper, away to Salzburg, and we managed to get a 2-2, although how the hell we managed to get away with a draw in that game, I'll never know. But I'm not looking forward to them coming to Celtic Park, because I think they could beat us at Celtic Park. I think Zagreb could beat us in Zagreb. And after the way we played last night against the Vauxhall Astra mob, I'm not overly confident in the very next game that's coming up against them.
Kev, the thing is, with this group having 3 good teams in it, shall we say,
yeah,
they've 10 might not be enough.
Yeah.
10 might not be enough, because I reckon, and I said this to Liam the other day, I reckon we need to win the group, because I'll tell you for why. Because not only that, if you go through in second place, you get Champions League and or group winners. Whereas if you finish top of the group, you avoid Champions League teams and you avoid group winners. You get a second place team, which in theory should be easier. So
in theory, yes.
Really be targeting to win the group,
Yeah.
And whether they will, I personally think that we'll beat Astra in the next game, basically because we can't be any worse. We cannot physically be any worse, and we've seen them now. Make no mistake, boys, we were going in there blind last night.
That's true.
I didn't know anything about Astra. I'm sure you guys didn't.
Oh, there's a huge Astra supporters club in Western Australia, Alistair.
Well. Well. So at least we can. At least we are still top of the group, boys. So let's just hope for the best, but improvements needed, and that's all I would say on it.
It absolutely is. So anyway, I mean, very quickly, I guess I'll go round. Pat, do you think we're going to get out of this group either by winning it or coming in second?
We have put ourselves in a good position to get out, so yeah, you'd like to hope so.
If I was to give you, let's say you were to put up 50 of your hard-earned dollars, or let's make it 100 if we're talking in sterling terms as well, right? There's $100 or £100. Would you be putting it on us getting out of that group right now?
Yes, I would. Yep.
Okay. I love your
yeah, look, I don't know. Like I say, we'll put ourselves in the best possible, but we could never imagine this the way the season started. So we have to take it when it's, the games that we've kind of got results in that we weren't expected to get results in. That's people have been doing that against us for years. We've just been smacking teams, and we end up with nothing. So maybe it's just that sort of twist of luck in our favour. But going back to something Alistair said, that in terms of playing against quality teams,